After the shooting at Oxford High School and a tragic winter of accidental shootings of kids, there's been a lot of talk about what to do to keep these guns away from kids and store them safely. Now, there are often never easy answers or simple fixes to hard issues like this, but in this case, there is an easy fix. And a majority of the states across the country are already doing it, but Michigan isn't even doing the bare minimum.
It's a tremendous responsibility to have a gun.
It's something Detroit's Police Chief James White has said a lot since becoming chief last year. A heartbreaking story told over and over. This time, a toddler finding a gun in a jacket pocket. With no adult in the room to stop him, the 3-year-old accidentally shot himself. The shooting coming exactly 1 month after a 2-year-old shot themselves in the leg after finding their mother's gun just before Christmas.
Gonna carry a gun, there are rules to carrying a gun, and you have to do so responsibly. So another one of the Detroit's children is shot unnecessarily, by getting a hold of a weapon, and sadly we find ourselves where we are once again today.
Nearly a month later, White was back on camera saying the same thing. Another 2-year-old had found another gun, this time in their mother's bedroom. The gun went off, hitting the toddler in the wrist and shoulder.
And if we're not going to be responsible and we're having our babies get shot by adult decisions, it's just irresponsible, and we just got to do better. We got to do better for our children.
And after those adult decisions, it's people like Alyssa Vitale who see the consequences suffered by children.
We just want gun owners to be safe.
Vitale runs Children's Hospital of Michigan's gun safety program. When a child is shot, she's the one who talks with parents and families, asking difficult questions about how their child may have gotten their hands on a gun and how to stop it from happening again without blaming the parents. A tightrope walk when emotions are at their highest.
We try to be very empathetic to their emotions and really let them know that we're on their side and that this is just to protect them from this ever happening again.
We talked to Lisa twice in the span of a week. In that same time, there were 3 more accidental shootings, one taking the life of a 14-year-old. The seemingly endless cycle of tragedy, sometimes taking its toll.
It is hard. We would like to prevent all injuries, but we do know that accidents happen, and most of the time these are truly accidents. So really just being here to take care of the patients is really what it's all about.
According to a study from the state of Michigan, since the start of 2021, 20 kids were killed after finding firearms they shouldn't have been able to find. Another study from the national group Everytown for Gun Violence finding 104 have been injured or killed in Michigan since 2014. And accident or not, firearms are the second leading cause of death among kids in this state. Most of them are entirely preventable too. 29 states and Washington, D.C. all have laws that penalize parents if a child can get access to their guns, known as Child Access Prevention Laws or CAP laws.
As far as Michigan is concerned, we really don't have a child access prevention law.
Rebecca Sokol is a Wayne State researcher who focuses on guns and kids. And what she's saying is in Michigan, there are no laws about negligent storage, no laws about giving a child a gun, no laws about criminal liability when it comes to a shooting by a child. Michigan does have a law that penalizes a parent who knows their child brought a gun to school, but no penalty if that gun is fired.
These types of laws have been associated with a relative decrease in firearm suicides and unintentional shooting deaths by an estimated 8 to 19%. We do know that the single biggest risk factor for adolescent firearm injury is access to an unsecured firearm. And so to put this another way, the presence of a firearm in a child's or teen's homes substantially increases the risk of both intentional and unintentional firearm death.
She and a team of other researchers just finished a nationwide study looking at firearm deaths when kids and teens had easy access to guns. Their findings are troubling, especially in the wake of the Oxford High School shooting, where questions about who's responsible when a child gets their hands on a gun are literally on trial. There is work being done to prevent these shootings. New federal laws have been proposed like the ones from Michigan Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin and Congressman Andy Levin. A new group of Michigan lawmakers is looking into them to help improve school safety. And each year, hundreds of free gun locks are given out by people like Lisa. But until there's change, she'll keep having to meet with families for something that never should have happened.
And it's the reason why we're here, is to take care of the kids. We can't prevent all injuries, but if we can prevent one, it's worth $1 million.
Now, those gun bills, both at the state and federal levels, have yet to get traction. In Lansing, there's not a lot of hope for these new bills because last year, 50 different gun bills stalled as they tried to get through the State House and Senate. In Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.